What's up everyone, welcome back to a brand new story. So the title here is a little bit misleading. This story is about Goku joining Raditz, but not willingly. A more fitting title might be What if Raditz arrived early, or What if Raditz kidnapped Goku, kind of like the one where he kidnaps Gohan. You'll see what I mean in a minute. I guess there's not really much else to clarify. Let's begin the story here. Our story begins with Raditz deciding to go to Earth much earlier. By now, Raditz is a fully grown adult. He's hit his growth spurt, and he's gotten decently strong. He still is a low-class warrior and is pretty weak, but he's much better off than before at least. And around this time, he has a random memory of Kakarot. Oh yeah, he's still out there somewhere. From what he remembers, Kakarot should be around 16 by now. He's probably going to hit his growth spurt soon, and will be fully grown, so he could join them. Honestly, he could have joined even earlier. Saiyans fight as kids after all, but he just completely forgot about Kakarot. So now it might be a good time to find him, especially because once he's fully grown, he'll be a much more valuable asset. So earlier on, Raditz decides to head to Earth. As I mentioned, around this time, Goku's 16. The time Raditz actually decides to go out is right before the 22nd World Tournament, so he heads towards Earth. Of course, he has no clue of what's going on Earth, nor does he know anything about Kakarot at the moment. So when he steps foot on there, he's a bit surprised because he looks around and there's a bunch of powers popping up on his scouter. They're not really high, but he thought Kakarot would have wiped out everyone by now. Weird. And as he looks around further, there is one really strong power far away and a couple others that are strong. Although they're not really strong by his standards. They're only in the triple digits. He heads towards the strongest one. He ends up going through his city, and he sees a news broadcast. There's somebody trying to take over the Earth. It's someone named King Piccolo. He declares that today is Piccolo Day, and as Raditz gets a look at him on the TV, he's a bit confused. Is that a Namekian? Why is there a Namekian here on Earth, and why is he trying to take over Earth? Aren't they supposed to be pacifist? Strange. He wonders if it's a transmission from another planet, but no, it seems to be actually happening here. And it's not like it's some fiction broadcast, it's actually the news. He's gonna go towards that guy then. He does see a couple strong powers on his scouter, but he can't tell which one's Kakarot, so he might as well go to who the strongest person is, because if Kakarot's not here, the strongest person might have something to do with that. It makes him wonder if Kakarot's already dead. That's the only thing that makes sense to him, because there shouldn't be anyone on this planet right now, but it's thriving. Well, kinda. It's under King Piccolo's rule at the moment, so thriving isn't really the right word, but there's a pretty big population, so that's unexpected. He arrives at King Piccolo's castle. The first person he encounters outside of the castle is Drum. That is a really weird looking Namekian, but he doesn't really have time for questions. He just wants to find Kakarot. So he asks him if he could speak to the king. Drum's not intimidated by Raditz, and threatens him too. So Raditz plays along. Fine. If he wins this fight, Drum should let him speak to the king. He laughs at that, but he accepts the challenge. And with a singular punch, he defeats Drum. Drum then weakly points over to where King Piccolo is, and Raditz launches a blast at him, killing him easily. He then walks into the castle to confront King Piccolo. And as he does so, Tien arrives on the scene. He's really confused because this random guy showed up and just defeated Drum, so he's not sure if it's an ally. And his power feels really insane, especially with how easily he defeated Drum just then. He wonders how strong this guy is. And he looks human-like, but at the same time something's off about him. So Tien keeps his distance and tries to watch on. King Piccolo exits the castle, ready to confront Raditz. And Tien notices something weird about Raditz. He has a tail, like a monkey tail. Of course, Earth has a bunch of animal people and people who don't look normal. I mean, look at Tien, he has 3 eyes. But it's so weird. Seeing someone who looks very human-like in appearance, but having a monkey tail, he's never really encountered that besides with Goku. Maybe it's just a weird coincidence, but he's not sure. Raditz asks Piccolo if he knows anything about Kakarot, and Piccolo's never heard anyone by that name. He's impressed to see someone who's strong enough to defeat his son. Surely Raditz won't be strong enough to defeat him though, but he'll humor him for a bit and answer his questions. So Raditz clarifies further. Kakarot's a strong Saiyan warrior, and Piccolo has no clue of what that means. What, he's never heard of the Saiyans? He's an alien too. And this comes as a shock to King Piccolo because he didn't actually know he was a Namekian. He and Kami forgot about that long ago, of course. Okay, well, Raditz tries to explain in simpler terms. The person he's looking for is someone with a monkey tail like him, and he has pretty spiky hair. And Piccolo says he doesn't know of one strong warrior like that. He's a tournament contestant named Goku, but not Kakarot. Goku, huh? Well, maybe that's just a coincidence because Kakarot would definitely remember his own name. He doesn't see why Kakarot would have a different name here. But either way, they've done enough talking, and he got the info he wants. So he assumes a battle stance, with Piccolo also ready to fight too. Tien watches on really confused, but then he sees a cloud in the distance. Goku's arrived. Raditz's scouter goes off, and Piccolo could see him coming too. And Piccolo says that's who he was talking about. And Raditz is elated. Yes, that is Kakarot. Still, it's weird that he's going by the name Goku though. Goku lands on the ground, and Tien steps out too, ready to join him just in case. He does plan on using the Mafuba on King Piccolo, even though the container he has is broken. And Raditz greets Kakarot. It's been a while since he's last seen him, but surely he should at least know about his brother Raditz. And Goku just looks at him confused. No, he doesn't know who this guy is. Oh, yeah, it might just be because of the growth spurt, because last time he saw Raditz, Raditz was also his size. It has been many years. But Raditz tells him it's him, his brother. He's here to finally take Kakarot away from this planet. He's not really sure what Raditz is talking about, and Tien's thrown off by this too. This guy's Goku's older brother? It doesn't seem like he's lying. He doesn't really have a reason to lie about that, and again, he also has the tail too. And this just makes Raditz even more confused. Piccolo's even there left speechless too because this guy's stealing his thunder right now. And Raditz looks around and asks them if anybody knows that Goku's actually an alien. No, this is the first time they're learning of it. Even Goku himself doesn't know. So it's not that he just forgot Raditz, he forgot everything. Alright, they'll deal with this later. He wanted to see Kakarot fight this guy because surely he should be strong enough to do so. He just defeated Drum with ease, so Kakarot's power should be able to defeat King Piccolo even though he should be stronger. So Raditz steps out of the way. They'll talk later. He wants to see how strong Kakarot is. This is a very weird occurrence for everybody else here. Of course, Piccolo wants to kill Raditz because he just killed Drum, but at the same time he wants to kill Goku. And Raditz isn't taking him seriously at all. Like, giving Goku the chance to fight him as if Raditz would be able to defeat him easily. Whatever. That guy's clearly delusional, so he'll let him stay delusional. As for Tien, he's being really cautious here, because obviously King Piccolo's right in front of them, but at the same time, this random alien just showed up. And he did kill Drum, so he doesn't necessarily seem to be a foe, but he can't know for sure. They don't know Raditz's true nature just yet. But Goku gets ready to fight Piccolo, and Tien steps aside too at Goku's request, ready to help him with the Mafuba if needed. Goku and Piccolo then fight each other one-on-one. Things get pretty dire really quick, and Tien wants to join in and help him, but Goku says no, he wants to try this alone. And Raditz says the same thing. Let Kakarot handle it on his own. He has the power to do so. And as Raditz continues watching on, it seems like he doesn't. That's a bit disappointing. He expected Kakarot to be stronger, but whatever. He considers throwing up an artificial moon to get Kakarot to transform, but instead, he just takes the fight for himself. Goku would have won if the fight kept going on, but Raditz saw how much he was struggling and didn't give him a chance. He steps in, and with a single blast, he eliminates King Piccolo, mortally injuring him, and sending him flying away from the castle. He tells Kakarot now it's time to go. He can come with him and meet the other Saiyans. Goku is a little bit out of it right now because he's pretty injured from Piccolo, and at the same time, this whole situation with Raditz is weird. He still has no clue of what's going on, but Raditz then grabs him by the arm and drags him away. Goku tries to fight back, but he doesn't really have the strength to, and even if he was at full health, he couldn't do that. So Raditz then grabs him by the tail and holds him up. Thankfully it's still a weak spot for him, which is great. And he glances over at Tien. If he tries to get involved, Raditz will kill him too. If that Piccolo guy was really a tough villain for them, surely there's no way he could defeat Raditz. Raditz laughs and then flies off, leaving Tien completely dumbfounded. Tien really needs to tell the others. First, he looks for King Piccolo just to see if he could find him because he wants to confirm Piccolo's actually dead. And Raditz did actually succeed killing Piccolo, but while he was launched away by that blast, Piccolo spent the last of his energy to spit out an egg, birthing Piccolo Jr., and he's not going to be found by Tien. But Tien finds King Piccolo's corpse. Okay, at least that's one good thing, but they need to save Goku now. But how are they supposed to do that? They couldn't even defeat Piccolo, and Raditz was way above him. The rest of the group then arrives, and Tien catches them up to speed. And as they're conversing, someone else then teleports in. He basically starts off by telling them not to freak out because he looks exactly like King Piccolo, but he's not. And he introduces himself. He's Kami, the Guardian of Earth. He came here for 3 reasons. 1, King Piccolo was just defeated. 2, he's still alive, which means King Piccolo will return in some form or fashion because he was supposed to die with King Piccolo. And 3, there's now a really strong alien on Earth that he knows nothing about. Someone who is multiple times stronger than King Piccolo even. He actually had known about Goku before, and now that he's been taken away, combined with everything else going on, he does want to help. Typically he wouldn't show up on the surface, but he made an exception here because circumstances seemed pretty bad. As Guardian of Earth, he's definitely going to know if an alien comes to this planet, especially one that powerful. Although, Kami came to the surface after Piccolo died. About an hour has passed already, and it's already too late. Raditz was able to find Goku's old space pod, and thankfully didn't really need much repairs. He placed Goku inside of it and sent him off into space, telling him that he'll be healed pretty soon. Just sit tight. And he's sent to a nearby Frieza base, with Raditz then going to his space pod and leaving. So, the two of them are already gone. Raditz worked really quick. A few days pass. Goku then wakes up in a weird vat of liquid. He doesn't know where he is, but he's fully healed now. And he steps out. He was in a healing chamber, and Raditz is sitting outside of it. Goku's immediately alert, and he gets ready to attack Raditz, but he says that's not going to work. He has some questions for Kakarot though. So he heard he goes by the name Goku now. And Goku says yeah. Why is that a big deal? Raditz asks if he remembers anything about his past, and Goku doesn't really remember anything. Before he was found by Grandpa Gohan, everything's a blur. He doesn't even remember their parents? Like, Kakarot is the spitting image of Bardock, surely he'll remember that, but no, he doesn't. Raditz is annoyed by this, but whatever. At least that explains why he seems so good-natured now, and Goku demands to be taken home. But Raditz says that's not possible. As a fellow Saiyan, he's supposed to be here. That's the whole reason he came to Earth in the first place, to retrieve Kakarot. Does he not want to rejoin the warrior race again, especially alongside his brother? Goku says he has no connection to them, and he learns more about the Saiyans from Raditz, and now he really doesn't want to join. Raditz says this is for his own good, though. He couldn't even defeat that Namekian, who was pretty weak. He's clearly not reaching his full potential as a warrior. And he tells Goku, by the way, Piccolo's also an alien. And Goku learns why he was sent to Earth, although Raditz doesn't know the true reason why Bardock sent him there. Initially, Raditz thought it was because he was supposed to destroy the planet, but Bardock actually sent him there to save Kakarot. And you know what? He makes a deal with his brother. If Kakarot can beat him in a fight, he'll bring him home. There's no way Kakarot will be able to find a way home on his own because he doesn't know how to control the space pods or even get to Earth. Not to mention, Raditz wouldn't even let him go that easily. Goku immediately accepts the challenge, trying to fight Raditz again, and even though he's grown a bit from his fight with King Piccolo, it's still not nearly enough to fight Raditz. And he loses that fight. See, Raditz says this would be really good for him. He'll get stronger. He'll have purpose as a warrior. He'll relearn his past. And most of all, he'll stop being soft. But in the meantime, Goku is stuck here. Meanwhile on Earth, after the time has passed, the group tries to figure out what to do next. At some point, Kami does eventually remake Shenron because he was killed by King Piccolo still. They can get the Dragon Balls back, and there's two options of what they could do here. Since the Dragon Balls can only make one wish at this point, they can either revive everyone killed by King Piccolo, or bring Goku back. After a year passes, they'll only be able to revive one person at a time. They can't revive big groups of people after a year. But currently, since they've only been dead for a few days, they could bring back their friends as well as anybody else who died. So there are a lot of lives at stake here. Plus, with Goku, they might be able to find a way to save him without the Dragon Balls. So it is a pretty tough choice, but they decide it's better to just revive everyone right now. Because if they don't do this at the moment, they'll have to revive everyone one by one, which is pretty much impossible because they don't know everybody who died due to King Piccolo's actions. It's not just Roshi and Chaozu they're bringing back, it's anyone else targeted by them, including all the tournament contestants, and everyone else killed in his conquest. They'll just wait a year for Shenron to return, and then wish Goku back that way. But in the meantime, Bulma's gonna see if she could try and find him, because apparently Goku was kidnapped by an alien, so maybe she could find a way to locate his ship. Although that's gonna be really tough because they don't know anything about what they're working with here. They just know the person who kidnapped him is named Raditz, and he's from a species called Saiyans. Also, apparently Piccolo's an Namekian, which means Kami should be an Namekian too. Right now, Tien's on the lookout with Kami, instead of Goku. They still have the issue of whatever Piccolo did to actually still survive, because Kami should be dead right now, so that's a concern, but they'll have to deal with that later. In the meantime, Kami's gonna try and contact King Kai, which might be pretty tough, but maybe that can get him some answers. Thankfully, he's able to get in touch with King Kai, and the reason King Kai is so willing to talk to him is because he learns who took Goku. First of all, a Saiyan came to Earth. Second of all, there was a Saiyan on Earth in the first place. Which sounds really bad, but he learns that Goku's actually pure-hearted, which is good. King Kai tells Kami he's not exactly sure where Goku is, or how they could find him because the Saiyans will constantly move around. And he doesn't want to help, but he tells Kami it's going to be really dangerous because the Saiyans work for a group called the Frieza Force, led by a tyrant called Frieza. Raditz is nothing in comparison to his strength. And not to mention, there are two other Saiyans out there. While all of this is going on, Vegeta and Nappa got word that Raditz retrieved his brother, and they're heading over to that same base where they're at right now. Great, another Saiyan to join the ranks. And in the meantime, on Earth, Piccolo Jr. prepares for his revenge against an unknown opponent. He doesn't exactly know who killed King Piccolo, but whoever Raditz truly is, he'll find him and he'll kill him. And with that, we'll leave off here for now. What'd you guys think about this part? What's going to happen next? Leave your thoughts and ideas in the comments below. I'd love to see what you guys think. As usual, be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. It really does help out the channel, and it shows me you want to see more videos like this. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.